Today I'm running something called private AI, kind of like ChatGPT, but completely offline. Everything you see running in the background is running completely locally on my computer, no cloud, no data sharing, just me and my AI running locally. And the best part is you can set this up in under 5 minutes. I'm going to walk you through exactly how to do that in this video, like the latest one from Meta using Ollama. We're going to use OpenWebUI to get some really great chat interfaces, just like we would have with ChatGPT, but completely local. Everything working on Windows, Linux, or Mac, and how it's going to be using the GPU versus CPU for the performance. It's free, it's fast, and it's genuinely amazing what we're able to do with these powerful AI models now hosted locally on our computers. But why go private? Well, not everyone's able to use ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini at work because of the compliance aspect, as well as privacy and the data that they're working with, and the security concerns are real. Running your own model locally gives you full control and zero dependency on any third parties. Thanks to projects like Ollama and OpenWeb, because we're able to run these locally and get a really great interaction. Now, you may have heard of ChatGPT, but it's definitely not the only one out there. What we've got is a platform called Hugging Face. It's absolutely amazing. There's lots of open source models that we're able to use natively on our computer. As you can see here, if you come across to models, load this up, we've currently got 1.8 million different models that we're able to use. Everything from Mistral all the way through to Gwen, all the way through to Google, some of the largest providers out here, as well as Facebook, providing some open source models for us to be able to use. What we'll also see on the left-hand side is the different functionality that we have with them. So for example here, if we want to be able to do image text to text, we can see some of the refined versions here. If you want some document retrieval through visual elements, you can do that as well. There's so many different ways that you can use it, and they're all accessible through Hugging Face. And the key part is most of these are already pre-trained. So what does this mean? Well, let's come up to the top. We're going to do Llama because this is the one from Meta. We're going to do 3.1b. As you can see here, you're able to get access to this. We've got an 8 billion parameter, 70 billion parameter, and 450 billion parameter model that we're able to get access to. The data was released on July 23rd, 2024. It was trained over hours and hours of computing that went through. And if we come scrolling down a bit further, what we're able to see is that we've got the data freshness, as we can see here. So the data has the information up to December of 2023. So it doesn't have that latest and greatest information. That's where some of the newer models like 3.3, 4, and beyond from other models will be able to have that instead. We've also got the benchmarking scores here to see how they perform against some of the other aspects. And we can see here how it's gone through, been trained, fine-tuned, all the capabilities and much more. We know it's Llama because up the top here, we can see that we've got that Llama as well as where the code repository is, just around Llama here for all of the different models that you can access really quickly and easily through this. For example, if we wanted to come into the latest version here, we've got Maverick that we'll be able to use, which is Meta's middle of the road. You've got Scout, which is the small one, and then Behemoth up the top. This is a really good, almost like a Sonnet or the normal version from ChatGPT. As we can see here, we've now got the training data for this as well. So if we come down, there we go. We can see that this has been trained on 40 trillion tokens and is going to be able to have the data up to August of 2024, which is almost a year out of date now. So again, really powerful models. We get access to them for free when we're going to be hosting them locally. We can also access specialist versions. So if we come up at the top, we can do Meta and then Llama to uncensored. Here we've got a uncensored version from George Sung. What he was able to do is go through, refine this model. He took some pretty powerful GPUs there, took 19 hours to train this model, but now he's not got those guardrails like a lot of the LLMs at the start. We can ask it absolutely anything we want and get those responses back nice and quick and easy. Okay, so we've explored some of the different ways that we can use private AI, some of the different models out there. Well, how do we get this set up and running? We're going to go through a 5-step process, which is nice and simple and easy to follow. First things first, we're going to come across to Ollama. This is the platform that's going to enable us to be able to run these locally. For example, DeepSeek, Gwen, Llama, and Gemma. If you want to know all of the different models they support, all you need to do is come across to their models here. And as you can see, we've got Llama 4, Gwen, we've got Mistral, we've got so many different ones that we can choose from. and we're going to show you in a second how to get them up and running. Make sure to download it. You've got macOS, Linux, or Windows 11 if you want to use it. I've already got it downloaded for macOS, so all we're going to do is click here and get it installed. Okay, so once you've got it installed, it looks something like this over the screen now. All we need to do is make sure that it's running, and to double check this, I recommend you come across. And in the community, we've got access to the commands for you to be able to run. We'll come down to our local AI. We're going to come down to here, copy this, paste it into a browser, and now we'll be able to see if it's running. Up the top here, we can see that Ollama is running, so we know it's all successfully installed, so we can go through and use it. Now, if we want to be able to use the models, what we're going to need to do is start to use our terminal. So to do that, you want to do open up and then terminal, and as we can see here, we've now got it ready to go. So we want to install the local model. Well, we're going to come back across to Ollama. We're going to come up to models, and we're going to find one that we want to use. So for example, we've got Gemma, Gwen, Llama, all of these different ones to use. Let's use Llama 3.2 because it's a smaller version of one of the later versions. And as we can see here, it's going to be 2 gigabytes for us to be able to download. And as you can see, it's 1.3, 2 gigabytes. So it just depends on the one you want. If you want to install it, come through to here, click on the version that you want. You'll see we've now got Ollama run and then Llama 3.2, 3 billion. We just need to copy this. We're going to open back up our terminal, as we can see here. And then now we've got it running in the background, which we saw a second ago. We'll be able to enter this in here. Now it's going to go off and start downloading the model for us. This will take as long as your internet is running, so just make sure to keep it running in the background. So there we go. We've now completely downloaded Llama 3.2, 3 billion parameters onto our machine here. It's just going through and finalizing that last few parts. And as you can see there, we've got the chat interface that popped up, so we know it's all ready to go. What we can do here is we can say hi there, and we're going to get an incredibly fast response back. Now, I'm using an M1 chip MacBook Pro. You just got to play around with the different ones you have. Having that GPU available, especially from NVIDIA, really, really helps on the performance side. If you're just running on the CPU and not that good of a graphics card's GPU, you're not going to be able to get the same level of quick responses. So for example here, what could we send off? We could say, I've got Llama and a few models downloaded. What's the coolest thing I could build in an hour? Now, remembering this has got some of the previous versions history, it's not up to 2025. It's only up to about 2023 December, I think it was, for this specific model. But what's it come back with? We got miniature robots, we got fantasy sword, simple vehicle, miniature cityscape, and alien models. So some really cool ideas that have come back incredibly quickly. And just think about this. We've now got a massive model that's been pre-trained by Meta themselves that we're able to run and use locally, no internet, not sharing any data. We're all secure and using it for our local interface. We could send some other requests off as well. We could give it another fun command. We could say, what if I wanted to be the Tony Stark of offline AI? What would I need to get started? We'll be able to send this off. It's now going to come back with some of the points that we're able to use. And again, this is coming back so quickly because it's all running locally on our machine, and we can open it up to see the entire aspect that comes through. Now, this is really good, but how do we install another model? Well, what we're going to do is backslash and then by. This is going to end the chat for us. Now, we've got all of the different commands in the community ready to go. For example, here, if we copy Ollama list and then come back across to our model, we'll be able to see all of the different models that we've got installed. Now, if you want to add some more, all you need to do is come back to where we've got models on Ollama, find the one that you want, for example, DeepSeek R1. Say we want to use this 7 billion parameter one here, or you can use the latest one, whichever one you prefer. All you need to do is copy this, come back across to the terminal, paste in there, and it's going to go off and start installing it for you all locally so you're able to use it. So there we go, we're now all installed with DeepSeek as well. It's going through and adding the last final parts here. When we get that chat interface coming back at the bottom, like we can see here now, we know we're all ready to go. So for example here, what we can do is say hi there. Again, just testing out if we're getting that response back, because it's that more deep reasoning model. It's showing us how it's going off and thinking before providing that response back. We're going to do backsplash and then by just to end this chat. And now if I go through and run Ollama list, we'll be able to see that we've got DeepSeek and Llama 3 running absolutely fine and ready to go. And if we ever wanted to run these, you only need to enter in the same command. So for example there, Ollama run DeepSeek R1, and now it's all installed ready to go, so we can start to use it nice and easily. Now this is really good, but it's in this interface through a terminal. What if we want to use it with more of a ChatGPT looking interface? Well, we're able to do that using Docker and OpenWebUI. Before we move on, though, we've covered the first two steps, which is setting up Ollama locally on our computer and seeing how then we can download and run the LLMs that we want to use. Now, if we come across, we're going to be using Docker. Make sure to come through and download this for your specific one. So for example, I'm on the Apple Silicon, so I've downloaded this, and we're going to be using the containers feature within Docker to be able to run these. You don't need to sign up for anything. You don't need to pay for anything. All you need to do is make sure that you download it, get it ready to go, skip past any logins, and you'll be able to set up. Once you've done that, it's going to look something like this. So we know it's all installed, it's all running. We need to leave it on these containers here, which is currently empty. We're going to be generating one automatically in a second, but you need to make sure that this is still running in the background before we do the next step. So to do step number 4 around doing that chat interface, we're going to be coming across to OpenWebUI. I'll include all of the links below. We're going to do get OpenWebUI. This is going to take you to this Git repository here. We're going to come a bit further down, and what we're looking for is one key part, which is where we want to use it with Ollama. So that's in here. So as you can see, if Llama is installed in your computer, use this command. So we're going to copy this. We're going to bring our terminal back to the front. And then what we're going to do is just make sure that we end this chat. We're then, with our Docker running in the background, going to paste in this command, and then we'll be able to send this off, and it's going to get it all installed for us on the computer with our Docker. Now, if we come across, what we'll see in Docker is that we've now got that container ready to go for our OpenWebUI. All you need to do is click on this localhost here, and it's going to open you up onto a new web page. If you've already got an account, all you need to do is sign in. If you've not done this before, make sure to sign in, and it's going to take you through. The first time you sign in, it's going to add this as the admin account to make all the changes. I've got an account ready to go, so I'm just going to sign in. So there we go. Now we're into our dashboard that looks exactly like ChatGPT. And as you can see at the top here, we've got localhost 3000, so it's all running locally on our computer. We don't need to have an internet connection. We'll also see at the top here, we've got the option to switch between the different models that are installed, and there's some great features that I absolutely love about OpenWebUI that we're able to use. So for example here, we can come in, we can add loads of files if we want to as well. We're going to show you how to add stable diffusion in the future as well, using OpenWebUI. If you want to see that, let me know in the comments below. We're able to tag different models. So for example here, we can say DeepSeek latest, that's the one that we're talking to. We can paste our prompt in there. For example, please tell me how blockchain works in simple terms. This is going to use our DeepSeek R1 really thinking model. Again, this is all running locally on our computer. It's now going off, doing some thinkings, and then it's going to provide that response back to us. And once we get this back, I'll show you exactly how we're then able to tag our Llama model to go off and change some points, ask some questions about it, so you can get it back and forth. So as we can see here, it thought for 18 seconds, and now we're getting that response back. What we're also able to do is come down the bottom. We could do at Llama3. We could say, can you simplify further? We'll wait for our response to come back from DeepSeek, and then we'll be able to send this off. And then as you can see here, it's now in the same chat. We're able to have different models that's able to talk to each other. They can do back and forth. We can put them against each other and really find out if we're getting that best response. We've also got different models here. So for example, executing code for analysis, and we're able to do lots of changes if we want to as well. And there we go. We're now getting that response back from Llama 3.2b. So it's understood that we were talking about blockchain, and now it's trying to give us a more simplified response. You can also go through and make some changes to the prompts. So all you need to do is come down the bottom. We're able to do settings. It's going to open up all of these different features that you can go through and change. We can add some personalization in here. We can add tools, connections, and much, much more. Also, if we come across to where we've got our account, we can come down to where we've got admin panel. And then what we're able to do is add lots of different users in here if we want to. And if we come up to settings, we can also go through and specify what model is available for who. And if we want to as well, we can click into the different versions. We can do the knowledge, actions, all of these different ones, different groups we want to add it to. So it gives us lots of control. We're going to show you how to do stable diffusion in the image side in the future as well. You can add databases, pipeline, and all of this is able to run locally on your computer. So for example, if we came back across to where we've got the chats, we can add workspaces in here, we can add knowledge, prompts, tools, all of these different parts. But if we came down the bottom, we could add a file, and then we could say, please summarize this into 5 bullet points. And it'll be able to go off and provide that response back. Again, because we started it off with the DeepSeek, it's going to use that to provide the response back first. So we can use all of these different files that we have locally and be able to chat with them with our AI as well, without having to send off any data. And again, think about how many opportunities this opens up for you not to have to worry about data security if they're being shared off, but instead we're all running it locally on our machine. As you can see here, it's now ingested that document, it's thinking about it, and then it's going to give us the points back. I'll just show you that. So there we go. We're now getting that response back based on the report that was in there. And this is absolutely fantastic. This is a really quick video just on how to get set up using your own AI locally and not have to pay for any of those subscriptions again in the future. Stay tuned for more around AI, automation, and have a great day.